Just what you want.
Got it.
Stark, there's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you. The nanotechnology team will be meeting in the Uptronics lab. Colonel Fury,
Hi,
Red
the name's
Room
Wyatt
is on line
Wingfoot.
6.
In case you didn't know, I'm your pilot while you're here at Stark Tower. We'll be taking the Quinjet when you're ready to leave on the mission.
Warning, a small thermal
Sure.
nuclear
What do you
device
need?
is missing, and Deadpool was last seen in the weapons
Discreetly.
lab.
As in, don't let Fury know? Yeah, I can do that. Give me a little bit. I think I know just the person to
Line
ask.
5, Colonel Fury.
There's a hacker I know. He's kind of an oddball, but I think he's up to the challenge. If you don't mind me asking, whose laptop is this? So, you think Natasha's up to something, eh? Maybe working for the other team. Stark needed a pilot, and he knows I've flown for the Fantastic Four, so I guess he figured I had the skills. I was roommates with Johnny Storm back in college. He introduced me to the group, and after a while, they started inviting me on missions. It's a high-tech jet developed by Stark's company. It's usually used by the Avengers. It's undetectable to radar, can take off and land itself. Heck, it'll even dial the phone for you. Plus, it's got the latest in jet engine technology. This thing will get you around the world in no time.
The nanotechnology team will be meeting in the Uptronics.
We're close to the landing zone, so I'll be brief. Dum Dum Dugan recently sent a suspicious radio message requesting I meet him at the Omega base for a report on the latest super soldier serum.
What's so suspicious about that?
Dr. Banner was to give the report. The only thing is, Banner has been working on the Gamma Bomb project, not the super soldier serum. Dugan would never make a mistake like that. Something's up.
What is the Omega base?
It's a mobile lab that's over 5 stories tall. We use it for field testing experiments.
Oh, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s the greatest. Flying aircraft carriers, office buildings on wheels. Please tell me you've got a tunnel that runs from New York to Tokyo.
Spider-Man, this is serious. Colonel, is there anything on board the Omega that would be considered dangerous?
If the contents of that vehicle were to fall into the wrong hands, it would be disastrous for all mankind.
Exactly what are you developing that could threaten the entire planet?
That's classified.
So it's all right for us to save the vehicle. We just can't know what's going on there.
Correct. Now, if I may continue, the team's mission will be to sneak on board the Omega and locate Dugan. He should be able to bring you up to speed on the situation. Any questions? All right, good luck.
Good. One thing I want to point out, you now have a shield port. It's an experimental device that'll let you transport instantly back to headquarters whenever you want. Okay, good luck in there. Let me know when you want to leave. Quiet out.
Team, satellite recon shows the Omega base is now on a collision course with Bondrak Dam. Thousands of lives are now in danger. You must stop the Omega at all costs. Fury out.
Good. They sent a team. I was afraid I'd been a little too clever with my message to the Colonel. Someone used the base's ventilation system to spread a knockout gas. When I woke up, Dr. Doom demanded I bring Colonel Fury here. If I refused, he was going to ram the Omega into the Vondrak Dam. Well, then there's no time to waste. Get me to the engineering control room. From there, I'll override navigation and stop this monstrosity.
Sometimes I enjoy this too much.
Team, I just had a thought. The section you're in contains the primary drivetrain. If you could disable it, the Omega base would be forced to switch to the secondary drive. Not much, but it'd give you more time to reach the top of the base.
Sometimes I enjoy this too much.
Curse that infernal Doom. I can't do anything for this control room. Not to worry, there's a control room just ahead. Hopefully Doom left it alone. Get me there, we should be fine.
Better than I could have hoped. My old adversary, Iron Man.
Glad to see you remember me, Crimson Dynamo. It's been a while since I kicked your tin-plated butt.
You will not defeat me this time. My new weapon suit is vastly superior to your armor.
Could have fooled me. You look like something from the early 1960s.
Mark me while you still can draw breath, Iron Man. Soon, you will be silenced forever.
Huh. You never could take a joke. Or a punch. Really use some help. This one's out.
Well done, team. Now, let's see about stopping this behemoth.
Blasted. All controls have been locked down, except those on the upper bridge.
Correct. We'll have to reach the top deck and stop the Omega base from there.
Sounds like a plan. Good luck.
Moon Knight.
Time for some fun stuff.
This one's out.
The exterior of the Omega.
This one's out.
And better.
Now I can defeat any evil on Earth! Sometimes I enjoy this too much. Sometimes I enjoy this too much.
Okay, so who's next? Time for an upgrade.
Sometimes I enjoy this too much.
Before you go to the top, we got a couple of new concerns you might want to address. Security shows some very sensitive labs have been broken into. One lab contains a device known as the Neural Inhibitor, and another has plans that could be used to upgrade Ultron.
Move out, people!
Sorry, mein Freund.
So, the reports were right. There is a team of superheroes on the Omega base. Well, let's see if this doesn't slow you down.
Guess you didn't know who you were messing with.
I am feeling it.
Hey! Can anybody hear me? I'm stuck in this lab. Am I glad to see you? What the heck is going on around here? There was a huge explosion and then I couldn't open this door. I'm fine. I just hope... Wait a minute. Did you say the Omega is under attack? We have to stop it. If that dam is destroyed, thousands of people will be killed in the flood. Not to mention how much of my work will be lost. Those must be the results of the super soldier experiment I've heard about. Scientists are attempting to recreate the experiment that gave Captain America his strength. So far, apparently, all they've created are those giants you've seen.
Team, you must be making the Masters of Evil nervous. My security panel shows a gamma bomb has just been activated. You gotta shut it down or all life in a 2-mile radius will be destroyed.
Well, it just so happens I'm kind of a specialist on gamma bombs. Take me to the primary lab and I'll see what I can do. Figures. They've damaged the shutoff. We have to find the auxiliary lab and re-establish the safety interlock. Hello. Do you have a question? It's a drug that was developed during World War II in hopes of creating soldiers that were stronger and faster than normal humans. Yes. Unfortunately, there's something very special about his physique. The drug won't work properly on anyone but him. I've been working with a team that's developing a smaller, more powerful gamma bomb. Teams aren't allowed to know what each other are doing. Heck, just walking into the wrong section can get you court-martialed, even if you're a civilian. SHIELD runs this place. They live for all that cloak and dagger stuff. Glad to be of help.
Sounds good to me. I'm no superhero.
If it isn't another enemy of my enemy. I've enjoyed saving the innocent from stray missiles and the like. But what I'd really like is a little chat with the worst of them all. Spider-Man. Have you seen your old pal lately, Bubblehead?
Huh? I've heard enough of your babbling.
Well then, why don't you listen to the lovely sounds of me shredding you into little teeny bits? It's your funeral. Enjoy. Sure. Why not?
Yes. Let's move out, people!
Watch out. There's an AIM helicopter patrolling the deck. I tried to take it out with this anti-aircraft gun, but it's just too fast. Yeah, at the other end of the deck. But you can't seriously think you're gonna take that chopper out.
This one's out. Friend, you never stood a chance. Out. This one's out. Guess you didn't know who you were messing with. You never stood a chance.
Boy, am I glad to see you guys. I've been trying to unlock the door to the bridge, but a helicopter keeps strafing the deck. Can you give me a hand? Sounds like a plan. All I ask is that you take the helicopter out quick. I don't think I'm gonna last long out in the open.
So who's next?
Got it. The door to the bridge is open. Thanks for the assist. I would have been Swiss cheese if you hadn't taken that helicopter out. You'll get no argument from me. I've had enough excitement for one day.
Friend, you never stood a chance.
Sure. Why not?
Yes. This one's out.
Due to the entropy device I presented, you will remain immobile for as long as I hold this button. Your pleas amuse me. I tell you what, let's have a contest. But instead of brawn, how about a test of brains? I'm afraid you have no other option. Now, to make things interesting, you'll receive an electrical shock for every incorrect answer you give. begin, shall we? What force holds you to the Earth? Oh, that was a lucky guess! Who is Loki, the true son? Oh, your answer was incorrect. Isn't that shocking? In which type of matter are atoms most tightly packed? Oh! Have you ever even read a book? What is the speed of light? Impossible! Is one of you reading my mind? Which of the following animals is not a marsupial? This is inconceivable! You're not that intelligent! The deal is off! You tricked me somehow! Guards, attack!
Okay, so who's next? Maybe you should call for backup.
Friend, you never stood a chance.
Really, you
should reconsider your actions.
That was... Okay, so who's next?
You never stood a chance.
You did it. Stop the Omega base. Well done.
Guys, that was one for the books. There's no time to relax. Colonel Fury wants you back at Stark Tower immediately. Stay where you are, and I'll pick you up in the Quinjet.
You did a good job on the Omega base, team. You saved thousands of lives and billions of dollars in SHIELD equipment. Yes, a device known as the Mutant Amplifier. It magnifies a mutant's natural powers. Until we locate Doom's base, nothing. And since all we're doing is cooling our heels, I want you to investigate a report that there's a riot taking place in Atlantis.
In the electronics lab.
See Wyatt Wingfoot, and he'll take you to SHIELD's Atlantis outpost. Or if you'd like more information, talk to the Black Widow.
Warning. A small thermonuclear device is missing, and this was last seen in the weapons lab. The President is on line 5, Colonel Fury. Miss Bambi and Miss Heather are still waiting for you in the main lobby, Mr. Stark. Johnny Storm would like you to announce that today is Ben Grimm's 65th birthday.
We just received a message from Namorita, the cousin of Namor. Apparently, there is a riot going on in Atlantis. Unknown, but for some reason, the Atlanteans have forcibly removed Namor from his throne. Yes, which means something is seriously wrong. See Wyatt when you are ready to go to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s outpost in Atlantis. We do not know. He has been a fair and just ruler for many years. The people love him. Perhaps, but Namor has always been kind to his people. There has to be some other explanation for this mass hysteria. When Mer people and surface dwellers first met, there was quite a bit of hostility. There were even several invasion attempts. The relationship between our two races is lukewarm at best. The Mer people prefer to keep us at arm's distance. Once you reach our Atlantis outpost, you will be infected with a special nanotechnology. Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Pym had a hand in developing it. It will allow you to breathe water with no discomfort. You will also be able to move along the bottom of the ocean, as if you were moving on dry land. My apologies. I should have given it to him as soon as we arrived. Please, take this to him.
Mr. Stark, there's a Harold Hogan online too for
You are quite welcome.
Hello, Iron Man.
Colonel Fury.
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s directive is to keep the world peace. To do that, we have to monitor the activities of every major civilization. I'm sure they wouldn't be too happy, and that's why they aren't going to find out about it. We realize now that Doom had no intention of commandeering the helicarrier. They attacked to draw additional security forces there. Correct. The Omega and the experiments it held was their prime objective all along. Dugan's still trying to sort things out, but apparently the base sustained only minor damage. Yes, they've been locked in a cold storage unit on level 3. Aside from some minor cases of frostbite, everyone was fine. You're welcome.
Sure.
Well done on the Omega mission. Will you have the same success in Atlantis? You're welcome.
Sure. Why not?
Do you need something else? You're welcome.
Johnny Storm would like you to announce that today
Got it.
is Ben Grimm's 65th birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Grimm. Mr. Stark, there's a Harold Hogan on.
Welcome, and good day to you. I am Edwin Jarvis, personal butler to Mr. Anthony Stark. This area is where Mr. Stark carries out the research and development of his Iron Man suit. As you can imagine, the body armor has become so complex that a staff of technicians is required. You may walk around and inspect the facilities. I believe you'll already find several of your compatriots here.
The name's Jack Hammer, but you can call me Weasel. Everyone does. Yeah, and don't worry, I came in through the back. No one saw me. Wyatt Wingfoot gave me a damaged laptop. Said you heroes wanted to know what data was on it? Yeah, that laptop holds security information for a building called the Imperium. I can find out, but you'll have to get me the password into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s priority files. Oh, there's 3 possibilities. Jacob Fury, Baron Strucker, or Gabriel Jones. Talk to Vision. He'll be able to help.
I do hate to impose, but if you see a cufflink somewhere in Stark Tower, could you return it to me? It was lost by Mr. Stark, and it has extreme sentimental value to him. My name is Edwin Jarvis, and I'm Mr. Anthony Stark's butler, as well as the butler for the Avengers. You could say it runs in my blood,
My mother and father worked for Mr. Stark's parents. It is a dream of Mr. Stark's that was 4 years in the making. The top 3 floors are his living quarters. The rest of the building houses his business interests. No, not any longer. Mr. Stark recently had a change of heart concerning that particular field of industry. This is primarily where new Iron Man suits are built for Mr. Stark. Oh, indeed he does. But as his designs have grown more and more complex, he has required assistance in manufacturing them. It was my pleasure.
I must admit, I find news of a S.H.I.E.L.D. outpost near Atlantis very intriguing. Now I know the extent S.H.I.E.L.D. is willing to go to gather information on countries with closed borders. Indeed it does. And now I wonder if perhaps S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't have an outpost hidden there. We have the largest deposit of vibranium in the world. To open our borders would be an invitation to those who would conquer us. Over the centuries, fools have tried. But the Black Panther is always there to stop them. Indeed I am. Victor Von Doom has created a sizable army of supervillains. I don't know, but Doom must have a truly grand scheme to risk attacks on the helicarrier and the Omega base.
You are quite welcome.
Has Tony Stark got it made or what? He's rich, he's a genius, and to top it all off, he's got the perfect mustache. Gee, I can't see why. Dr. Doom's in control of an army of supervillains, and the Black Widow is working for him. Are you off your meds? The only thing that would make this worse is if the Earth were destroyed to make way for an intergalactic highway. Of course she is. Hey, I've been at this superhero game long enough to know that the hot chicks always turn evil. Probably because evil pays better. If one of Nick's little S.H.I.E.L.D. agents is turned to the dark side, then Nicky'll have to figure it out for himself. No, it isn't. If you finish that sentence, I'm gonna put so much web in your hair, you'll have to shave your head. Sure, sure.
Black Widow is up to something, I just know it. Did you see how nervous she was on the helicarrier? Sure looks like it. She must have been trying to get that laptop to the enemy during the helicarrier battle. Yes. That laptop shows all security systems for the building. And from the looks of those systems, the Imperium must hold something valuable. Not yet. She's his second in command. We're going to need some pretty strong evidence to shake Fury's faith in her. Yes, Colonel Fury's trust doesn't come easily, and once given, it's nearly impossible to break. Okay, so Daredevil and I were close several years back, and the Black Widow and Daredevil were close not so long ago. No, I'm not. I'm long over Daredevil. If he can find happiness with the Black Widow, I wish them both the best. You're welcome.
I know seeing the Super Soldier Project has raised some concerns about S.H.I.E.L.D., but let's get all the facts before we cause any trouble. I think S.H.I.E.L.D. has a lot to deal with, and sometimes it makes mistakes, but historically, it's done a great job of keeping the peace. I saw they were testing out a new version of the Super Soldier Serum, the same type of drug that gave me my strength and agility. Yes, during World War II, I volunteered for Operation Rebirth. It was a program for creating physically superior soldiers. I exceeded their expectations. Unfortunately, Dr. Erskine, the man who developed the drugs, was killed, and no one's been able to recreate his work. I have to admit, things sound kind of suspicious. Like, why was she carrying that laptop during the attack on the helicarrier? No. I'd need a lot more evidence before I'd say something like that about the Black Widow. Anytime for...
Hey. It definitely belongs to the Black Widow. It's got her fingerprints all over it. For most techs, it would have been a lost cause, but for me, I managed to drag up a few tidbits of information. It mostly dealt with the building, I don't know, but that laptop had the layout of the building and all kinds of information about the security. I can, but you need to get me Fury's password into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s priority files. I bet I'll find everything you want to know. My sources tell me it's one of 3 possibilities. Jacob Fury, Baron Strucker, or... That's what I need you to find out.
I've heard people complaining about S.H.I.E.L.D. since we got back from the Omega. I'm telling you, it's gotta stop. I trust Nick Fury. He's pulled my fat out of the fire more times than I can remember. Look, Fury does what he has to keep the world safe. He ain't always got the luxury of playing by the rules. I've known her for a while. She's always been good in a fight, and Fury trusts her. Unless that meathead Weasel comes up with better evidence, I ain't believing nothing against the Black Widow. Of course I am. He's been loyal to me. After all the trouble I had with the Hand recently, I owe Fury my life a dozen times over. Let's just say that evil bunch of psychos got hold of me and turned me into their assassin. It caused a lot of people a lot of pain. But Fury helped me out. Kept me alive. And I'll never forget that. Sure thing, bub.
Nanotechnology team will be meeting in the Optronics lab. Colonel Fury, Red Ralston is on line 6. Warning, a small thermonuclear device is missing, and this...
Ah, my cybernetic helmet. Thanks, I owe you one. The mutant amplifier vastly augments any mutant's natural power. So a psychic that can lift a book will become powerful enough to lift a bus. Yes, but it has some serious side effects. The amplifier causes damage to the DNA of any mutant it's used on. Not much. The serum's only worked on Captain America. There's something very peculiar about his physique. That, plus the doctor who originally developed it, is dead. He'd wind up with a bunch of muscle-bound beasts, just like you saw in the Omega. They're psychotic, violent, unable to take orders. Not exactly what you'd want from an army. Ah, there's no...
Thank you for the decryption module. Now I can patch directly into the S.H.I.E.L.D. database. Namor is the first known hybrid of Homo sapiens and Homo mermanus, humans and merpeople. He can breathe water and air, but if he's away from water too long, he will begin to weaken. As with most merpeople, he has an inborn distrust of surface dwellers, and true to his belligerent nature, Namor can take his distrust to the extreme. The Atlanteans are distant cousins to your race. Having evolved on the ocean floor, it is impossible for them to breathe air. Because they live in the extreme conditions of the ocean, merpeople are very hardy. They are stronger than humans, can swim up to 30 miles per hour, and live to be over 150 years of age. I know it's a name Colonel Fury would just as soon forget. Jacob Fury was so jealous of his older brother's success that he turned to a life of crime. Yes, and to make matters worse, the Colonel was forced to kill Jacob. So you can see why Colonel Fury does not care to dwell on that name. I would suggest you talk to the Black Widow about that name. I am glad to be of assistance.
Colonel Fury, Red Ralston is on line 6. Warning, a small thermonuclear device is missing, and this was last seen in the weapons lab. Ralston is on line 5, Colonel Fury. Mr. Stark. Johnny Storm would like you to announce that today is Ben Grimm's 65th birthday.
Greetings. Welcome back. I would not say that name too loud. He is a leader of Hydra and a longtime nemesis of Colonel Fury. You should ask Colonel Fury about Mr. Jones. You are quite welcome.
There's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you.
Yeah.
Well done on the Omega mission. Gabe? Heck yes. He's a great guy. Back in the day, he was one of my Howling Commandos. He still is. Gabe's one of my top advisors. He saved me from making serious mistakes more times than I care to remember. You're welcome.
A small thermonuclear device is missing, and this was last seen in the weapons lab.
Ah, splendid. You located the missing cufflink. It was a gift from Miss Virginia Potts when she had been Mr. Stark's secretary. It was my...
Okay.
Hi, what's new? Anytime.
Hello, my friend. You are...
Hey. Thanks. When you get back from Atlantis, I'll have all the information you need.
Have you seen the view from this place? It's fantastic. Sure.